Hi guys, James here. Welcome back to the build. This is part 2 of the Mosquito Airfix 172nd Mosquito Mark B.XVI. Now, since the last video, I've left it a few days, so essentially the seam could really dry. Cleaned it up. I'm not sure how good I'll have done until obviously I spray it with a primer. Obviously glued a few bits in here and there. Whoops, I didn't glue the rudder on because it's a wonderful fit, and obviously glued the bits on underneath. This window was a pig to fit, but this tail plane is not glued. It's a push fit, it's a click fit in there. As is the rudder at the moment. I'm going to glue the rudder on. But yeah, I think I've been sort of like mulling this over in my head. I don't think I'll glue the wings on either, because I had a look at the underside of the wings. I've got them off for the undercarriage. Use them as jigs for the undercarriage fit in a minute, and they fit quite nicely. So it does make more sense to fit it all up when it's painted and primed. So this part essentially is fairly straightforward. Put a little bit of glue in the notch here, in that notch, and then we go why wouldn't you fit? There we go. And obviously we'll create it with a little bit of can on it, like so. Just to let the extra thin do the capillary action. There we go. And let that sit to dry. Then obviously this tail plane can go in one side and to the other side. There we go. That's him. So I'll put that to the side, and then that is all up to stage 21 done. That's page 5 done with the instructions, and this one is where things get interesting, chaps. So page 6, we've got the undercarriage wing, which is B6 I think. So I need that wing as a jig, so I cut those off anyway. And I'll just pause the video. I'll cut these parts off and clean them up, because you'll get bored of that anyway. So I'll see you in a bit. Now we've got the parts prepped in for all the parts cleaned up that we need. So we've got those 3 pieces, which is the oil tank, mud guard, and a little spacing bar. Obviously one side of the undercarriage, which is F37 and F15, which is glued in there, and F36 and F11, which is glued in there. So obviously my one observation is it's bloody fiddly. So the next thing I'm going to do is stick undercarriage in the wing, like so. So that's part 24. And then stick said undercarriage in the wing that side. Get a little dab of glue in there. Till it takes, and then tap and dab like that. We've just got to make sure that those two legs have lined up. Which in theory yeah, they have. Next job is to glue part F18, which is this little tiny part in between those two gaps there. Like so. Like that. And then let's just check to make sure that's still in view. Yep, that's still in view. And then get this little piece to sit. So I think what we'll do is tack that end This is fun when you've got one hand that doesn't, you can't feel your bloody fingertips. Sorry for going off screen, I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. As long as it sits back in the jig, that's fine. And we get that in there like that. Et voila. Fortunately, this plastic tends to grab a little bit better than the old stuff. So we'll put that to one side. We'll let that dry. And then we'll fit the oil tank. I believe it is. And we'll get all the bits to assemble the other side, which should go together quite straightforwardly, hopefully, in theory. Well, they're saying that, we've got to leave that. No, we've got to put the wing together in that part, so we'll let the undercarriage dry. I'm just checking the alignment of the mudguard. That's okay. And hopefully, in theory, that's the bottom. That's the fuel tank in place, or the oil tank I should say. So there we go. And then we just put it back in the jig and allow it to set in place. So we'll leave it there for the moment, and then we'll come back on, and then we'll do the other wing, get the wing done on this page, and obviously miss out that we'll put the wheels together by the hubs, because we need them to do some seam work on them. So if we glue them up as Nigel says and let them dry, that makes more sense. So I shall see you in a bit. Bye for now. Hi guys, back again with part 2. So in this exciting part, glued the wheel together. We'll put that to one side for the to let the seam set up. Undercarriage is all cured. Just does look rather swish, that. And the wing is glued together here, over here. So obviously drilled the holes out for the slipper tanks. Glued the wingtip on. Painted that light up on the inside. So basically just glued that in and swirled around with a bit of Vallejo silver, I think, or aluminium. So that's done. Obviously that hopefully is dry now, so I'll pull that tape off. And obviously the wing sits on there like that. Which is a lovely fit. So yeah, made up the exhaust on for one of the engine cowlings. And it's very helpful, that one, because it's got the arrows on the back, so it tells you which way around it glues on. So it glues, that's up and that's forward. So just put a dab of glue at that end, and there we go. And that's page 7 done. Page 8, I believe, is basically a repeat of the, no, page 8, yeah. Page 8 is assembling the, alright, so we've got to do the engine nacelle now. So that looks as though it could be fairly straightforward. Famous last words. So I'll come back in a bit once I've got the bits cut out for this, because it's going to get very busy very quickly. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm back. Sorry, I got carried away with gluing parts together, because it's like intriguingly fun to build. So obviously one of my concerns was you've got ejector fins on the ejector pins on the face here of the bulkhead. However, when you go to put it together, there's the undercarriage, flips the undercarriage in, you can't see them. Brilliant, really clever on that piece. So obviously I've got to paint up me interior of the undercarriage bay on here, and the sides in here. I didn't risk it because I didn't know what the fit was like. The fit is wow. Yeah, so I've got 2 bits to fit on this, again all off the same sprue. This is the F, I think this is the F sprue, yeah, the frame F. So yeah, there are the wheel hubs, and there's a little mask for the undercarriage bay. So yeah, we've got to fit these little tiny vents, which are an absolute swine for me to hold. There we go. And then we can put a little bit of, dab a little bit of extra thin in there. Then of course I realised I get it on the wrong side, donut. Never mind. At least I haven't glued any bits on upside down. Well, technically this wing's upside down, so they are handed as well, so note to there we go, job done on this. So we'll pause it there. I'll get this painted and we'll see you in a bit. Bye for now. And by the magic of television, there's all the wheel bay all painted, interior green, and the engine fairing all glued in. I think I dislodged it a bit when I was fiddling about with the undercarriage, but so there we go, and that's the end of part 2. And so I'll see you in part 3, and hopefully I'm not going to bore you with the whole sequence of the wing again. It's fairly straightforward. Obviously I've got to order some masks. I forgot to order them. Oops. And yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.